Just
What's happening, people? Welcome back to the Brothers Geek Out podcast. This is episode 357.
357. Wow.
And as you can see, I'm joined by my boy K West, who you probably recognize from Fight Talk this week, as Kibla is ready to have a baby any second now. So he'll be out for the next couple of weeks. So K West has kindly agreed to spend some of his time with us to talk about some pop culture and geeky stuff rather than just fight talk.
Love it.
He's still on the beach of Thailand. Out there, he's hitting his
I'm trying to get out, man. I'm getting eaten.
He's getting munched by the mosquitoes.
I gotta run.
And the bugs. We just had an episode of Fight Talk. If you haven't seen that yet, do check it out. UFC 288 and One Championship. So we broke that down and gave you our thoughts as fans. But we're not talking about fights in this one. We're talking about some pop culture geeky stuff that's been happening throughout the week. So I'm looking forward to catching up with K West. K West is also a fan of all that stuff as well. So I'm looking forward to get his thoughts and all that stuff as well.
Doctor Strange is my hero.
Dr. Strange, there you go. Dr. Strange is his hero, not. But we got some news. There's a lot of things happening this week. So let's go through it, man. Let's get to it, man.
Please.
All right.
Well, tell me something new.
So let me go through my list. 1 second. What have I got here? All right. Well, first things first. Congratulations and then rest in peace. But Carrie Fisher was honored with the star on Hollywood Walk of Fame. I believe her daughter and Mark Hamill was there to kind of help present that and whatnot. I mean, she's a legend from the Star Wars franchise. And she's always going to go down as in history for that. But she was awarded or honored with this Hollywood Star of Fame on the Walk of Fame.
Incredible. Wow. That was she passed during COVID time, 2020.
It was she passed away just before that last movie came out. I can't remember when that was. I think it was 2019.
Oh yes, it was.
I think it was.
Yes.
So she passed away then. So
yeah, that's sad, man.
It's an amazing, she leaves a legacy behind, definitely, and that star definitely represents that. Cool. Moving on, a little bit of off topic, but still music, going into the music industry. And I used to be, obviously, I still am actually, but a big fan of old school hip hop. But Missy Elliott, who was always one of my favorites from back in the day, has made history and will officially be the first female rapper to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So
it's massive, man.
Out of all the old school female rappers, because I remember her, there was Lil' Kim, there was Charlie Baltimore, there was
Foxy Brown.
Missy Elliott was definitely one of the legends.
Aguilera.
Sierra. There was so I'm glad someone like her's making the history and whatnot.
Man.
The tunes she's done with Timbaland. I mean, Timbaland was just a great music producer. Just different
level,
man.
Absolutely.
So awesome. Yeah, I love that. I love that she's making history, which is absolutely amazing.
It's funny that
Go on, bro. What do you think?
I was gonna say it's funny, I hadn't really listened to her music for a good while just because for no reason, and then being out here, start reminiscing about old school music, and I started playing some of her old hits, her album was the Under Construction. Remember that one?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, oh my god, this music's amazing. It was and so to just hear something like this about her after all these years and going back and digging into what I consider to be amazing lyricist, music flow and genre transformation in that time, and then to finally be awarded something such an honor is good, man. People actually listening and respecting the shit.
Definitely. And she deserves it. I mean, she was very versatile. She had a great producer. Her music was just amazing from different angles and whatnot. So I'm glad some of the old school rappers are still getting their recognition. I still love my old school hip hop.
Yep.
I'm always gonna love my old school hip hop. Like hip hop's
I
cool
know.
now. I'm just not into it. Maybe I'm just old and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm just not into it now. So I don't
I
listen to
hear
hip
you.
hop,
I hear you.
any
I
new
hear you.
stuff.
I
It's
hear
all
you.
old school stuff. So I'm
I
always
hear you.
gonna be biased towards that, but it's always gonna be my stuff. But
I
yeah,
totally get
congratulations to her. So awesome for that.
Yeah.
Moving on, and we're gonna go straight into some Marvel stuff because normally we save it to the left, like Marvel and DC stuff. We kind of save it to the last, but I wanna.
Okay.
I don't think you've seen it, but I saw Guardians of the
Go on.
Galaxy 3. Now, if you haven't seen my breakdown and spoiler review with Adil, do check that out. That's out on the channel. Check that out.
Oh
I give a
yes.
full overview and spoiler review
I
on
almost
that.
watched that. I was like,
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not gonna spoil it here because I don't think you've seen it, and I'm not
I
gonna give the
haven't.
spoiler review here just because Kibla hasn't seen it either. So maybe me and Kibs on the future one we could give our thoughts. Spoiler, but just my overall initial thoughts without spoiling it. I freaking loved it. I loved it, and it's
Yeah.
been a while
Was it
since
necessary?
Marvel. Yeah, it's been a while since Marvel has made me feel this way about a Marvel movie. I love all of them, don't get me
Ooh.
wrong, but some of them in the new phase has been, like, yes, it was
Hit
cool,
and
it was
miss.
awesome, it fits in well, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go watch it again, or I didn't have the
Yeah.
same emotional reaction. Like Black
Yeah.
Panther 2 was the last movie that got me very emotional, and I think that had a lot of
Yep.
things to do with obviously Chadwick Boseman and whatnot. But
Yeah.
this movie really was hit the emotional strings. Also, just like the first two Guardians, it just felt like those first couple phases of the Marvel MCU universe, where it was just super exciting. So it had the same thing, same emotion, same visuals, same comedy, same story, everything, like not same story, but storyline that is really touching. I loved it, man. I think this one was definitely great. We almost lost James Gunn just because of that controversy that happened in the beginning, but I'm glad they worked that out because no one could have done it better with except James Gunn. So super happy. I won't say more on it because I don't want to spoil it. But again, check out the spoiler review if you have seen it to get my full thoughts. If not, go check out the movie. I think they've done a great job, and I'm excited. I want to watch it again. I watched Guardians 1 yesterday. That's how good it was. It's taking me back.
Wow.
I'm going to watch 2 again later. It's taking me back, man. So I really enjoyed it, and I plan to watch it again. Like, it's hard. I haven't gone to the cinema. Like, so back in the days, bro, every Marvel movie that come out, it was in my routine. Not just Marvel, but DC comic book movie. It would be in my routine to watch it twice or 3 times or more. I haven't done that in a while just because I haven't, these movies hasn't really attracted me to come back twice or 3 times.
Do that.
This one has.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to go back and watch it again. So in the cinema. So great movie.
Yeah.
So if you haven't watched it, I recommend it, bro. But definitely for the fans or whoever's listening, check it out if you haven't seen it.
You sound super pumped for this movie, and I've never really given much like Guardians of the Galaxy that much of a shake. I like it for what it brings to the table of, as an MCU big cog in the wheel. I like it for that, but it's never really been one of my favorites. But I feel like after the whole snap and this and that and so on, I feel like maybe they're gonna be different because they went through a lot of emotional trauma, a bit more of a deeper character development and stuff. So maybe this movie might be the one that's gonna be. It kind of dragged me in a bit, so I hope for that. That's it. That's it. I hope it's gonna be fun.
Go watch it. I mean, you mentioned trauma, and I'm not gonna mention anything, but it brings in a lot of it touches on trauma basically that each of the characters go through and all that sort of stuff. So it's really touching. It was so good, and it got me. Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, man. I don't want to say anything. Go watch it if you have a chance. And if you haven't seen the Christmas special either, make sure you watch that because it does all link up. So the Christmas special came out obviously last year, Christmas. If you haven't seen that, watch it. That's a fun watch. It's got nothing to do with the story, but there's things that come from it. So it's worth watching that too.
Right. Okay. That's good because I haven't seen that. I was gonna say, speaking of people who almost, lost their life, we didn't even see what James Remar, or have you already spoke about him? James Remar? Sorry, not James Remar. Sorry. God damn, what's his name? Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah, we spoke about that. Yeah, we spoke about it in previous
You've
episodes.
already done that before.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But he's recovered. I hear he's doing well.
He's recovered. He's doing well. It's great. I see him in a few interviews and whatnot. Man, I mean, I he was fucked. I think he broke a lot of bones in his body. He done it for his nephew or his niece. I think it was his niece to save her and whatnot. And he wouldn't change a thing. And it was just emotional to see him that way. But it's great to see him back up and
bounce back
in recovering. So yeah, man, glad to see that. All right, keeping on the Marvel theme, there's been a lot of things going on about Fantastic Four and them trying to cast the Thing. So they're trying to cast someone for an actor or an actress for the Thing, but what they're looking for is a Jewish male or female actor for the Thing. Now, for me, the Jewish part, I mean, Ben Grimsley, I think it is Jewish, so that's cool. Are you on a moped? It looks like you're on a moped, bro.
No, I'm not. My friend's joking around saying like, you're gonna get on or you're gonna walk back, and that's impossible to walk back. That's about like 2 hours. Anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, do you need to go? Do you need to go? I mean, if you need to go for it. Because I mean, if you get on the moped, I don't think we'll be able to hear you properly.
Can we run this back when I get home?
I could carry on now just because I won't have the time, but I could just carry on and finish it off.
Time. Hold on. Tim, can we wait a bit? Wait a little bit. Or they're too late.
Just deciding if Haywest can carry on or must go home.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna let's run it then. Sorry.
All right, cool. So they're looking for a Jewish actor, male or female. I think with the Thing, the Jewish part, he's a Jewish character anyway, so that doesn't really matter. Of course, like that should be fine. Male or female, I feel like it should be male. Just keep to that. Yeah. He's a big brute.
Yeah.
He's a big force to be reckoned with. I'm not saying females can't, but just keep it as Ben. I mean, I like Ben's character and whatnot, and I think they should just keep it as male. But anyway, what's her name? Mina Kunis. I saw her name in the mix and whatnot. But
who? Mina Kunis.
Yeah, for Ben for okay. Thing, and I was just like maybe not. But anyway, that was an interesting one out there. What else is going on with the Marvel world? All right.
Did you watch the TV show, by the way? The Thing, the TV show, that was really cool.
Which one? Which one?
The Thing, the TV show. I think it came out 2019, and it got canceled because
you're talking about Swamp Thing.
Because of Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I watched the TV show. But yeah, that was the DC one. Yeah, I watched the TV. I'm talking about the Fantastic Four, the Thing.
Oh no, oh no, keep it as Ben. Keep it as Ben.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know, it's I mean, look, I don't care about changing certain characters here and there and whatnot, but some characters, it doesn't matter if like it kind of matters. It kind of matters with this one.
Just keep it as it is, man.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Characters. Yeah, man.
Some update for the Agatha Coven of Chaos show. So it's been officially confirmed that Joe Lockley will play the character of Billy, the son of Scarlet Witch in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and will make his first appearance in Agatha Coven of Chaos. So they're definitely moving forward with the Young Avengers and stuff like that. We've already seen that. We've already seen Scarlet Witch's kids in the WandaVision show. Obviously they're going to be, and they were also in Multiverse of Madness. So yeah, I mean, I'm not too familiar with Joe Lockley, but interesting that they're moving forward with that anyway. And I'd love to see where they take that character.
Yeah, I mean, do you know much about her backstory? Because I don't. So
Scarlet Witch.
I'm pretty much in the. No. Agatha. Yeah, do you know much about her?
No, not as much.
I think it's worth having a look, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm sure that show, regardless, will just kind of give us a better introduction. She was obviously in WandaVision. She was like the antagonist. She was another witch and trying to get the Scarlet Witch, I guess, powers and stuff like that. So hopefully her show will give us a
Yes.
bit more background on her and whatnot.
Yeah,
But
about
yeah,
her. Yeah. So I'm secretly low key waiting for that show to come out to answer some questions. I am.
yeah. No, it's good. She with that WandaVision show, I feel it was one of the first Disney Plus or the first Disney Plus
Was.
Marvel show.
Yes.
She
Yes.
had an appearance in it. It was a great, different
Yes.
kind of show, and some people
Yes.
didn't appreciate the style
Take
of
to
it,
it.
but it was a show about
Sure.
trauma again, and something that Scarlet
Yes, it
Witch was trying
was.
to overcome. But yeah,
Work
Agatha
through.
played a good
Yeah.
role in it, and I'm looking forward to see what they do
Mm.
more with it and how they bring that into the Scarlet Witch universe and even in the MCU in general. So exciting times.
Mm. Definitely.
All right, what
That's on
else
my
is
watch
going
list for
on?
sure.
All right, I found so Across the Spider Verse is coming out in a couple months, which I'm super excited. I think it's
Yes.
next month,
Saw a
but
brief trailer.
Andy Samberg will voice benreilly in that movie. So Andy Samberg is the guy. Have you seen Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
No, not really. But
He's like a
is he the
comedian. He's freaking hilarious, man. He's
brown hair, tall? He's like on the like main acting fight parts in Brooklyn Nine Nine.
Yes,
One of
he's
the main guys.
the main cop in that one. So he's a
Okay,
very
okay.
comedic. In
I know who
general,
you
he's a
mean.
very comedic guy. He's absolutely hilarious. He's
Okay,
been in a few Adam Sandler
okay,
movies. He's got his own stuff that he's done. But
okay.
he'll be voicing the character of benreilly, who is the spider, like almost like that rock and roll Spider Man. Have you seen that one?
Yeah,
Uh,
the Scarlet Spider-Man.
I don't know if it's called Scarlet Spider Man, but I don't know exactly his Spider Man name, but it's like the one that's got the rock and roll vibe to it.
Does he have like the
The
tank
blue,
top?
yeah, the blue tank
Yeah.
top. Yeah.
Okay, I know who you mean. Yeah. I forgot his name. Okay, so he's gonna play him,
He's going to be voicing him in the Spider Verse. Now
voicing him.
that Spider
Okay.
Verse, we're going to see so many variants of Spider Man. So it's going to be so
Oof.
exciting.
Oof.
And I'm looking forward to see what he does with that character because he's comedic, he's funny. So obviously this
Right.
character seems like I'm automatically thinking that this Spider Man will be comedic, but we'll wait and see. But I'm assuming it will be.
Mm. I need to go and rewatch the first one again because I watched it one time. I think I think each time I've fallen asleep, but it's not because the movie is bad. It's because I watched it at the wrong time of the day.
It's so good.
But
It's one
I
of the best.
think I need to watch it again. I have to watch it because I've seen what's the other one? Spider-Man: Homecoming? No.
Far From Home.
What's the last one called? Far From Home. Yeah. And
No Way Home.
that
No Way Home. Sorry.
No Way Home. Sorry, No Way Home. That alone, splitting the multiverse and whatnot, is that was just like insane. Like I watched it a couple of times, So I need to go watch the first one and be anticipated for the next one and the video game.
Yeah, I mean, look, this is a Sony animation production. So it's not really connected, but in the trailer they mentioned this Spider-Man. So actually, it is connected in some way. But you got to see the first one. It's really fucking
Yeah,
good. It's like one of the best
I need to remember.
Spider-Man. It's
I
one of the best
remember it.
animations. One of the best Spider-Man anyway. In general, just a
Damn.
heartfelt story about.
Is that
Miles
really
Morales
what you're
and stuff.
saying? Yeah.
Oh, it's very good, but I'm surprised you haven't seen it. It's really freaking good.
I mean, I need to watch it in daylight.
Yeah, definitely check that one out, man. Totally check that out. But that one's
Damn,
got so much
okay.
potential coming out. Looking forward to that.
One. Okay.
All right, what else is going on here? We got so from I don't know if you've seen Deadpool, but that character Peter will be returning in the MCU to join Deadpool 3. The actor Robdelaney will be coming back to play that character Peter alongside Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman in Deadpool 3. So do you remember Deadpool? Do you remember watching Deadpool? Deadpool 2, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Not so much.
He's forming the team, and there was a normal human that comes in with the mustache named Peter. He was actually quite hilarious character. It was just very random, but he was actually hilarious.
I don't, I actually don't.
Okay, well, he's coming back. It was just a fun character in there. Look, Deadpool's one of those almost like a comedic Marvel movie just because of Deadpool and his characteristic.
Satire.
Peter was just a random human that joined the X-Force team and died immediately, but it was just hilarious. Anyway, he's coming back for Deadpool 3, which will be interesting to see. So, I mean,
as a ghost?
What's that? I know. Deadpool 3 is going to be about time travel, and I feel like what's going to happen is at the end of Deadpool 2, Deadpool gets hold of Cable's time machine thing, and then you see like a monologue of him going back in time and whatnot in the end of Deadpool 2. So I reckon what's going to happen, that is going to kind of flow into the MCU that we got now. So I reckon he's going to go back in time before Wolverine dies in the movie we watch, before even Deadpool 2, and then they're going to bring them into the MCU in that sort of way. So it's going to be an interesting one. I'm so looking forward to that. Bringing Deadpool and Wolverine on the same screen is just as a fan, we've been wanting this for so many years, and we're finally going to get it. So it's so fucking exciting that the MCU and Marvel's giving that to us finally. Yeah, and that's coming out soon. Yeah, that cartoon will be coming soon.
Fucking man. Like,
what's next?
You're right, man. To hear all of that, to see all of that, it's I always wonder like why it takes so long for them to do all this stuff, as a fan and just as someone who doesn't even look into the comics too much and read, articles and whatnot. But it's all red tape, and it's sad that it has to be that. That's what it is, that we can't enjoy these things on a regular basis. I'm glad we have it, but it's just silly as a fan, like pure fan. We just don't understand all this red tape and paper and legislations.
There's politics, I mean, the X-Men and mutants have been under the Fox umbrella for the longest time. And, so we could never get I mean, they could have done the crossover with Deadpool and Wolverine on the Fox side, but they chose not to anyway. But now they're part of the MCU. It's just going to be way more exciting. And that's where they belong, And I'm glad Disney made that decision to buy Fox Entertainment for $75 billion or whatever. But as a fan, that's all business politics, whatever. As a fan, I'm just glad it's under one umbrella. And I'm glad that we're going to get those two in one movie. And what else they're going to put this in this movie, we have no idea. And it's just the introduction of mutants coming into the MCU is just exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been teased for many years, and I just hope that they execute it the way that we as fans and all the other fans out there who are comic book fans, like it's able to kind of, I don't know, just be welcomed,
Yeah.
Because there's been a lot of missteps with a lot of these Marvel movies, as you said. There's been some all right movies, some great ones. I hope that when this lands, it lands with the thunder.
It has to.
I hope so.
It has to. If this one doesn't land, I mean, I think ultimately it's going to land because you got Deadpool, you got Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool, which is perfect, and you got Hugh Jackman's Wolverine, who I've come to love over time. So you can't. Already, it's got the hype. You just got to deliver. You just got to deliver on whatever it is. So super looking forward to that.
Landing, son. Stick the landing.
Superhero landing. All right. That's all the Marvel news I had. So moving on to a quick little DC thing. So Jensen Ackles will replace his role as Batman and Bruce Wayne in the Batman upcoming Justice League War Worlds. It's an animation. And I feel and Jason's been doing a lot of the what do you call it? Voice acting for Batman, so he's gonna be returning for that. DC always do a great job with the animations. I love their animation. They've kind of solidified themselves at least one thing when it comes to the DC. I don't know if it's gonna be part of the universe, but just in general, just DC have landed the animation. So looking forward to this one.
I agree. I really do look forward to the animation, and even looking back to the older ones, like. But look at Doomsday, the original one from like 2007, or and it's not that old, but Flashpoint, or some of the other older ones, the Arkham Asylum one, where they go in and they it follows the what's the squad with Deadshot, and something asylum, and they go into the asylum and Batman's saying, "Fuck some niggas up."
I don't remember the name of the squad, but I think I know what you're talking about.
Attack on Asylum or something like that. Or, Assault on Arkham, maybe.
I can't remember. I can't remember. I think I know what you're talking about.
Anyway, like they've been crushing it for a long time. Like, and they're the only ones I'm happy to go back and rewatch again because they were just solid. And as I read more into running around naked and shit. as I like find out more knowledge about other comics and so on, and I rewatch them, it all kind of sinks in, and I'm just like get a whole new perspective of these like movies. It's nice, man. Really nice. They do it well.
Yeah, definitely. I think that DC have always done a great job with the animation, which has always been fun for us. And then we got the movie coming out, Flashpoint, which Kibler's already seen, super jealous, but that comes out next month, which will give us a different perspective on the new on the new DC universe.
Anything?
What's that?
Give you a little drip of honey.
No. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. No, I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything. I want to go in fresh. Because the spoilers are going to be out on Instagram and all that stuff anyway, which is always annoying. But I want to go in fresh. I don't want to know anything about this movie because I'm super excited about it. But yeah, no, DC, coming up with the animations, which is always awesome. All right, what other movie news have I got going on here? So let's see. All right, so Ridley Scott is doing the Gladiator sequel. I don't know if you've heard about that, bro. But
which one? Sorry,
Gladiator by Ridley Scott, and djimonhounsou is replacing his role.
Oh,
djimonhounsou. What's that?
djimonhounsou.
Okay, yeah.
djimonhounsou.
Okay, yeah. He's replacing his role. So this is obviously, I think this is going to be about Maximus's son, but he's replacing his role, which should be interesting. And I heard also Pedropascal.
No.
What's that?
Yeah.
Pedropascal is the latest big name to join the Gladiator sequel as well. So the cast is definitely, Pedropascal is just amazing at what he does. Last of Us, Mandalorian, and everything he touches is amazing. Ridley Scott, at least Ridley Scott is doing the Gladiator movie. I still kind of feel like you should have left this movie alone and no need to do a part 2. But if they are, I'm glad Ridley Scott is doing it because it's his project, it's his movie. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with this. But Pedropascal and Djimon is back.
Somebody put Pedropascal in a skirt. You see that?
No. Someone pull him in it, or he actually put himself in it?
I mean, he was wearing one on some show. It's like he's like a red jacket like the devil, and a black under thing, and like a red whatever. But like, he looked good in it, so it's gonna work for him as a gladiator. Is what I'm saying. But yeah, it's weird that he was in a show and a skirt.
All right. Well, I don't know if he's going to play Gladiator in that role, but it'd be interesting to see what they do with him, and interesting what they do with this movie because the first one was so epic. Yeah.
A timepiece. And them guys wore tunics, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, like if that's what he's already, if that is a subliminal message, go do it, son.
Well, yeah, it's really interesting. I think anything he touches is amazing anyway. So I'll be looking forward to seeing what they do with this.
He's a genius. Like he's been doing it for years, and I look back at some of the movies he's been in, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know his rap sheet was that far, But he's been grinding for a long time, and yeah, I mean, he's a special talent for sure.
Definitely. All right, what else is going on? Super Mario Bros. Have you seen the movie? Because that movie just hit 1 billion, and it's the first time an animated movie has hit this high of a record of $1 billion. Have you seen it yet? It's so freaking good.
Is it?
It's awesome. No, it hit 1 billion, and it's for a reason. It's a really good movie.
I mean, there's a lot of movies that hit big numbers, but I ain't interested. Are you? You interested in every movie that hits 1 billion?
I think if you went through the top 10, I could probably tell you that I've seen all of them. Top 10 grossing movies from Avatar all the way down to like whatever hit 1 billion, and I think I've probably seen them because
your interest.
Yeah. What I might not be interested is Oscar-winning movies. Now, I know Oscar-winning movies is Oscars, but I might not necessarily be interested in all of those. But the $1 billion movies are more the blockbuster movies and whatnot. There's the Marvels, there's the Avatars, the Star Wars, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, I mean, but this is the first animation to hit 1 billion. Super Mario, it really, as an animation as well, you had a great cast, Jack Black and what'd you call it?
Chris Pratt.
Yeah, it was fucking fun, enjoyable movie, man.
I need to have a look then.
This will open up the universe for the animation studios that Nintendo has used for this. I can't remember their name now, but this opens up a lot now. Like I'm sure loads of other projects will come off this, but super successful for Mario Brothers and this animation studios.
And I hope I hope yeah I hope it is as exciting as you say it is. Another friend of mine, he's a massive Nintendo fan, bigger than I am, like huge into Zelda and all the other games that came on N64. Like I was always a PlayStation person, PS1, PS2, and then jumped to Xbox. So I missed out on N64 and that lineage. Although I did have a SNES, but I didn't play as many games. So I don't really love Mario like everybody else does who had that as a childhood. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I had a Game Boy. I was not like a just deprived of these things. I'm very fortunate to have these things, but I was always into the PlayStation. Anyway, my guy who was really helling into it, he was like, yeah, this is good. And he's a stubborn motherfucker, So when I hear that, I'm like, okay, I need to see that movie. So I will do something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't tell you that I'm the biggest Mario fan, but I just love the animations, and of course I know Mario and all that sort of stuff. So I watched it, and I freaking genuinely enjoyed it, man. I thought it was like animations are sometimes hard to not enjoy because there's something about them that you can't do in a real movie. That's why, like, going back to the Spider-Verse animation, like there's something you could do with that animation that you can't do in real movies, which has this heartfelt feeling with some of these movies. So yeah, this was definitely worth a check if you get a chance to. But yeah, it's hit 1 billion. I mean, that's fucking record breaking for an animation in itself. So Nintendo, making the history again, which is awesome. So good for them.
Back in the win column, huh?
Yeah,
man. As soon as I get a chance, I have a look.
Definitely. All right, cool. What else going on? Sylvester Stallone, my guy's still doing it, right? At his age, he's back for more high altitude excitement for Cliffhanger reboot. You remember that movie,
yes,
Cliffhanger?
I heard about that. I love that movie, man. That's one of his. It's an underrated movie for him, no?
It is one of the underrated movies, and I enjoyed that movie. It was pretty good, but yeah, he's coming back for Cliffhanger, a reboot. It's interesting that they're doing a reboot. I would have thought just do a part 2 since you're using Sylvester Stallone's, but if it's a reboot, then interesting.
That means he's gonna be probably the old dude, like teaching the new guy, right? He's gonna be like the Clint Eastwood in Recruit, and the new guy is gonna be Charlie Sheen.
I guess so. I mean, knowing Sylvester Stallone, he'd probably still be trying to climb them cliff-hanging mountains anyway at his age because he's still in a great shape. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Interesting they're doing a reboot. I just feel like in my head I was like, if you're picking Sylvester Stallone's, why not just do a part 2? But anyway, just interesting. Like Cliffhanger is one of them that they're bringing back.
Right. Like I just saw an article recently and it was saying that like they were planning to do Demolition Man 2, which is one of my favorite movies. Mm-hmm. Right. But this idea is from way back, and they allegedly they were going to cast Meryl Streep as his daughter, Stallone's daughter.
Isn't she kind of old anyway?
Remember with the timing would have been.
Okay.
Yeah, but I guess if it would have made sense, right? Because obviously he'd been you get it.
Yeah. The time difference. Yeah, listen.
Yeah.
That will be a good one with Wesley Snipes because Wesley Snipes is still doing the thing they were in Expendables. Now that will be Wesley Snipes is dead, isn't he? You can't do that. He got his head kicked off.
Remember, he can't do it. Remember, they were able to do some really crazy shit with DNA. They were able to freeze DNA. Yeah, if that's the world that they're in at that time when that movie came out, they can easily fucking replicate the motherfucker.
Maybe. What was his name again? His name was
it's optional. Simon Phoenix,
motherfucking Phoenix. That was awesome. He was so good. All right, cool, man. Sylvester Stallone's still doing the damn thing. I'm a Stallone fan, so whatever he does, I'm genuinely into. So, I'm good with that. But okay, what's next? What we got here? So, producer John Lando reveals that he is in talks with director Robert Rodriguez and Rosa Salazar about a new film in their cult hit Alita. Did you watch Alita? The fact that it was an animation?
I haven't, I haven't. I need to see it. Yeah, I need to see that.
Visually, it was fantastic, like absolutely amazing
Right.
visuals and whatnot. So they're looking to do. I think they've been talking about this for a while, but I think they're looking to do a part 2 or something of that movie. Yeah, of the
Yeah,
Alita.
makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense because that just seems like a kind of move, like you know, like I didn't watch it, but I heard so much acclaim and all the excitement, and it kind of reminded me from a distance of like a potential Avatar franchise situation.
It
What
was
about you?
visually stunning, and she was all
Yeah,
animated and whatnot, and you had humans in it as well,
yeah.
and whatnot. So it was
That
very well done.
combination, that visual combination kind of showed. See, like to me, I'm seeing like an Avatar, and I think, oh yeah, like I can see that being a long time story.
Yeah.
So
I haven't
yeah, why
seen
not,
it in a
man?
while. I can't remember where the story ended
Yeah,
anyway. But yeah, definitely,
I
they got
don't
part twos
know.
in the talks and whatnot, which is always fun and exciting. What else is going on here? Okay, Carl Urban is in
Yep.
final talks to play Jonnycage in Mortal Kombat 2. Carl Urban, you know him. He's the
I
boys, the
know who
guy.
Carl Urban is. Yeah, I know Carl Urban. Like he's fucking Judge Dredd and shit.
Judge
Like,
Dredd,
which they
yeah.
need to do another movie. They need to do
Yes,
another
I
movie of that.
agree. I agree.
Thank you, thank you. Johnny Cage. Don't know about that one. I don't
Can
know.
Carl Urban do the splits? That's what I'm. Can he do the splits and do the Jonnycage uppercut in the
It
nuts?
should have been Jean-Claude Van Damme's clone somewhere. By the way, I'm on 4% battery, so I might end up like dying. You know.
All right, well let's go through and we'll talk as much as we can, and I'll finish off. But um,
How's my
Carl Urban, I mean,
charger?
listen, from the boys, he's amazing. Judge Dredd is amazing. I'm sure he'll do a great job with this, but I mean, he's got to be able to fight like Jonnycage. Jonnycage was almost like that Van Damme stuff, style fighting,
Yes.
very
It was
flexible, yes,
based off
very
him.
flamboyant and whatnot because he's an actor and all that sort of
Yes.
shit. But he's
Yes.
got
He's
to be able to do
ballerina.
the special move, like which is the splits and the punch in the nuts.
Yes.
Can Carl Urban do that? Would it
Yes.
look good, Carl Urban doing that? You can't forget that some of the agility needed for that. But we'll see what they do with that.
I mean, we know that they can do magic on camera, and maybe they just do a whole lot of cuts, and it works out.
As long as it looked good, then I'm down. But I
Yeah,
enjoyed that
happy.
first movie, and it wasn't the best. I know it got filmed, but I genuinely enjoyed it. I enjoyed some of the martial arts and the visuals in it.
I did.
So yeah, I'll look
Did
forward to
too.
part 2 myself.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
saw Jackie Chan and John Cena have a new movie, and Jackie Chan's still doing the damn thing. He's got a new movie called Ride, I think, coming out soon, with the one with the horse, and he's got another movie I
I've
saw with John Cena,
heard.
which I had no idea that was coming out. But I don't know what the name of it is, but just Jackie Chan, man. I love that guy, man. Just fucking doing the thing always.
I think you know what? It's due for me to watch his old movies again. It's that time, like Project A, Police Story 1 and 2, and all that.
Yeah,
It's that time,
Dragons
Jackie.
Forever. I love those movies.
All of that. All of that's that time. It's that time.
Yep.
Love.
And
I
then
love his slapstick spiel.
which one?
I love his slapstick spiel. You know, that style of kung fu that he used to do.
Yes,
Kind of,
yeah.
it's like comedic kung fu. Like it. Love it.
Always amazing. I mean, just revolute. I mean, like, he's just one of the goats, right? When it comes to like action, martial arts, movies, and whatnot. They're looking to do Rush Hour 4, which is also going to be exciting to get them guys back on it. So yeah, man, excited to see Jackie Chan still do the thing. Okay, finishing off. John Wick 4, I don't know if you've seen it, but freaking awesome. But will be on digital platforms on May 23rd. So not too long, actually. No, sorry. Digital platforms on May 23rd, and then it hits Blu-ray on the 13th of June. So I'm looking forward to watching that again, because that film was just non-stop action and just beautiful choreographing of him killing people in the most brutal and artistic way. So great movie. Look forward to seeing it again. If you haven't seen it, then check it out on digital platforms coming May 23rd, and then Blu-ray on June 13th. And it looks like we might have lost K West. I think his battery might have died. But anyway, I'll finish off this week's episode. I'll just finish off this week because there wasn't much going on. Except the last bit was there's Hollywood writers are officially going on strike, which will grind many movies and TV series in development to a halt. So it's interesting that there's a strike going on. There's so much content going on these days, from movies to TV shows. And I guess it puts Hollywood writers in a play of the highest, higher, how do I put it, man? It puts them in a good position because they're needed, they want it, and good writers are needed right now, especially with all the content coming out on all the different streaming platforms, be it cinema, Netflix, Disney Plus, Hulu, whatever it is, right? There's so much going on. So this could have an effect on some of the big shows out there, like the House of the Dragon, which I haven't seen yet. I need to get into, but I haven't got a chance to watch that. Some of the DC shows that they're looking to do, and movies that they're looking to do, obviously with the reboot of the DCU. Interesting take. Let's see what it does to the industry. I don't think I mean, look, end of the day, there's so many writers probably out there that's trying to get in there. So I'm sure obviously every writer, every industry or whatever, you have levels to it. That's just facts with any industry or skill set. If one person goes on strikes and turns something down, I'm sure there'll be another to pick it up. But it all depends, right? It all depends on how far a project's gone. If there's been one writer on House of the Dragons, how do you give it to another writer to finish it off? You know what I mean? As an example. So interesting thing that's going on in the industry and whatnot. But I feel like there's so much demand, there's so much going on that you know, it puts the industry in a position where, like, how do we move forward and whatnot and keep the same amount of good quality content? Because there's some good quality shit out there and there's some shit out there, right? And if you got something good going on and you ruin it because you're in a rush to get it out, and not, you know, maybe you don't want to wait for these writers or whatever to come off strike, or I don't know, even resolve the problem. I don't know what the issue is. Maybe it's a money thing, or I never looked into that. But you know, like, you don't want to ruin stuff that you got going on. Like Game of Thrones, I haven't seen House of the Dragon. I don't know how good it is. I haven't heard even friends talking about it, because I'm Game of Thrones, everyone was talking about it. This House of the Dragons, haven't heard the same hype, so I don't know if it's as good. But anyway, if you start ruining it because you're trying to get other writers to complete it just because you're in a rush to get it out, that might fuck everything up. That might fuck up the reputation of the show. I'm just using that as an example. There's so many other shows and movies out there. You know, the new DC universe, man, like, it's got to be on point. You know, be it the writing and all that sort of stuff, man. Like, it will be very disappointing if, for example, you switch in writers and all this sort of stuff, and you don't get that on point, because we're all looking forward to that. And many things, even the Marvel universe, you know, they got writers as well. So everything, not just Marvel, DC, but I'm talking about all sorts of stories and everything. So whatever's happening in the industry, if it's a money thing, pay them. Freaking hell, man. Like, I know content is great, visuals and direction and actors are great, but the ones that are writing the stories, man, everyone's got to get their shine, man. Everyone's got to get their pennies, man. So pay them, if it is a money thing, that is. Cool. I mean, I think that's it. That's I think I had on my plate. That was it. Yeah. So guys, like, thank you. It's a quick one, you know, and K West was able to jump on and at least give me some sort of backup or whatnot. Just so I'm not doing this alone. But I thank you, K West. I know you had to go. He had 4% battery. He's out there somewhere on the beach in Thailand. And it's great to get his perspective on this. Kibla will be back in a couple of weeks. Baby's due any second now, so we're all excited and looking forward to that. In the meantime, you just got me talking crap by myself at this moment anyway. But hopefully next week, K-West will come back on. Hopefully have a lot more battery. We did do Fight Talk, which probably drained a lot of his battery too. And I appreciate his time. He's out there in Thailand doing his thing. And he's still trying to make time for this, and I appreciate that, because I know how much time it takes out of the day of doing this. You know, my Sundays are almost done. Let me get back to reality tomorrow and work and training and stuff. So I appreciate his time for doing it. But we'll get Kibbs back soon anyway. There's a lot of fun stuff going on that he's probably got going on, movie premieres and all that sort of stuff, which he has to put on hold because of the baby. If I was there, obviously in the UK, I'll be on it as well. But you know, I'm not there. I'm here in the Middle East trying to build up stuff here. But we've got some cool things coming up. I'm by the time I go to the UK, I will be getting to Speedy Comics and doing a little geek out session there, and check out what's in the vault there, which is, you know, the $5.2 million Superman comic and whatnot. I think it's 5.2. So I'm gonna definitely do that out there. Try and do more geek out sessions, trying to work on that. Do check out again the spoiler review of Guardians of the Galaxy 3, I did with the deal, but then we also spent another hour and a bit talking about, having a geek out session. He's a great artist, talking about his inspiration, his process. Then we got deep, that movie, and again, I'm not going to spoil it, but just it hits on some emotional strings, and then we ended up getting deep about other things. We talked about religion, all that sort of stuff. So do check out that episode that's on the channel now. And yeah, we'll keep going, man. You know what I mean? Like, we'll keep going every week. I'll be back next week, regardless, with some news for the week. And then users, like, we appreciate everyone's support, man. The upscale of support that we've been getting, the views and the comments and the watchers who are always, the users who are always watching. I appreciate your support. Always do continue to like, subscribe, and all the good stuff. And we're going to keep doing our thing from our side. But yeah, on that note, I'm going to leave you to it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace. This.